The beauty of physical evidence is that it tells a story. We look at the firearm, we look at the blood, there were cartridges left behind, projectiles were found within the toilet. Physical evidence cannot lie.
Day 30 dawned, and what could be the last week of evidence in Oscar Pistorius' murder trial. After Gerrie Nel had finished cross-examining ballistics expert Woli Wolmerans this morning, the defense called forensic psychiatrist Dr. Merrill Forster. She said that in assessing the accused, she'd interviewed the entire Pistorius family.
He was never able to allow himself to be seen as being disabled.
Has that any relevance to anxiety, for instance?
Yes, over time, this could result in increasing levels of anxiety as the stress of appearing normal continue. From the collateral information obtained, it appears that his mother was a very anxious person and abused alcohol intermittently. She slept with her firearm under her pillow, and there were frequent episodes when the police were called in to investigate noises she had heard. The children were reared to see their external environment as threatening.
How would it translate to the present situation? Would it go away? Would it remain?
Well, in the present situation, it clearly remained.
Barry Roux continued his examination in chief, building up a picture of Pistorius as a fairly anxious person.
It is my opinion, my lady, that Mr. Pistorius has an anxiety disorder. Individuals with an anxiety disorder work hard to control their environment and be very prepared in order to alleviate their levels of anxiety. He does have a clear family history of anxiety in his mother, sister and brother.
What is the relevance of the family history of anxiety?
Anxiety disorders do have a genetic predisposition.
Dr. Forster spoke about Pistorius' frequent vomiting and said she believed his distress in court to be genuine.
What Mr. Pistorius showed while I was examining him and he was retching, he showed a pallor. That is, he became pale and he sweated profusely. This cannot be feigned. This is a sympathetic manifestation of anxiety. He's certainly remorseful about the events. He feels guilty that he has caused Ms. Steenkamp's death, and he has developed a depressive order as a consequence of this.
Then it was over to State Advocate Gerrie Nel, who asked whether she thought Pistorius had diminished responsibility.
Let us just deal with it, that there's a possibility that he suffered from a diminished responsibility. Then he has to be referred today for mental observation in terms of the provisions of Section 78.2.
Well, that could be something the court could consider. What I'm trying to bring to the court's attention, it is, rather than being a mental illness, although it is a psychiatric diagnosis, what I'm saying, my lady, is that it's not a mental illness as considered in terms of the Criminal Procedure Act.
Over lunch, the state worked out that Dr. Forster had only interviewed Pistorius on the 2nd and 7th of May this year. Gerrie Nel found this curious. Naturally, the accused would have been anxious after weeks in the dock.
But let us look at it. I'm an accused. It's not going well for me. I now see the psychiatrist. I must be anxious. He must help me.
I don't know how you perceive these cases progressing.
Gerrie Nel called for an adjournment so he can go study Dr. Forster's report before bringing an application for Pistorius to go for mental observation.
He should finish his cross-examination, allow us to have re-examination, and then if he believes there's merit in an application, then bring it.
Mr. Nel, is there a problem with finishing with the witness?
I'm being guided by a psychologist sitting behind me, and I will need to just confer with them.
Because I don't want to be unfair to you, Mr. Nel.
Yeah.
If you need more time to reconsider this, I'll give you time.
I think I need more time to reconsider.
Yes.
The key question that arose today is whether Pistorius had the capacity to be criminally liable for his actions. It seems the state will persist with an application to have him referred for mental observation. perhaps not the defence's intended consequence when calling Dr. Foster to give evidence.